I am Supreme. Today's Astro Oracle investigation will be on Taylour Young. Taylour Young was a 25-year-old Houston, Texas man who went missing on December the 9th, 2021, after last being seen on surveillance at a bank near his job in West Houston. His body was found over a month later on January 19th, 2022 in the trunk of his 2019 silver Honda Civic at a Dallas impound lot over 250 miles away. Taylour Young was last seen around lunchtime on December 9th. His phone was found in the bushes near a Capital One bank on South Voss Road in Houston. His car was towed to a Dallas impound lot from a parking lot about 9 days before his body was discovered. An autopsy revealed Young was shot in the head, but the official cause and manner of death were initially ruled undetermined, leading to continued questions. The Houston Police Department and Dallas police treated the case as a homicide, though early suspicions included potential suicide or, as his mother suspected, foul play. I don't believe suicide. He didn't kill himself and put himself in the trunk. So, I do believe foul play, and I'm almost certain a foul play card is going to come out. His mother, Tiffany Robinson, actively searched for him, and the following discovery has continued to seek answers and justice for her son, who was a graduate of Sam Houston University. So, I'm going to pull from my Astro Oracle. I'm going to pull 4 cards because there are about 1, 2, 3, 4 different decks, possibly 5, that I may need to pull from to elaborate on certain questions that I have. So I don't want to make this a 2-hour investigation. I'm going to be pulling 4 cards from the Astro Oracle. That's going to tell us the story on Taylour Young. I am a high-ranking Astro Oracle psychic. I am about to do a high-ranking Astro Oracle investigation on Taylour Young, who is deceased. I will be communicating with Taylour Young's deceased soul. The soul is an energy signature, whether the body is alive or not. The soul is eternal. So I will be communicating, and I want Taylour Young to tell me in 4 cards what happened to you December the 9th, 2021. What happened to you, Taylour Young? Of course, I pre-shuffled all my decks before I logged on, and I did some meditations while observing a lot of his photos. I get a lot of energy from photos and a lot of information. So I did pre-shuffle all of these decks with that energy. So, of course, this is going to be a very accurate reading like all of my readings. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell button so you'll be notified when I drop my Astro Oracle investigations. If you're just joining me, welcome. I am Supreme. I am a high-ranking Astro Oracle psychic. I communicate with the living and the dead. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell button on my channel so you'll be notified when I drop my investigations. If you would like to see me conduct a reading on anybody that I can look up and search feel free to suggest those readings in the comments or emails. All of my information for you to get a personal readings, all of the types of readings that I do, the prices and my contact information and forms of payment is all in my description. So please go to my description and review all of that information. Y'all ready to hear what happened to Taylour Young? Or y'all ready to see what happened with Taylour Young? 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I knew that foul play card was going to come out. Now we have 3 jealousy cards that came out. 1 in the 9th house, which is the house of colleges and universities, which is also the house of foreigners, which is also the house of churches, international travels, and international lands. Whoever this person is, they're a foreigner. They are of a different race than Taylour Young. And this could be a college student as well. Whoever this is somebody in that local environment, the 3rd house, somebody in his actual neighborhood, one of his neighbors, because the 3rd house is the house of neighbors, the local environment, which is also where he was last seen on his lunch break going to the ATM. Whoever this jealous person is, this is the 1st house. The 1st house, whoever this person is, it will show up in the 1st house of the day of his disappearance. We're going to find out who this person is, because the 1st house represents the self, the physical body, the first impression and orientation. So whatever sign comes first, the day that Taylour Young disappeared, will elaborate on this particular person that was jealous and where this person can be found. Because, of course, this is not Taylour Young, although this is the house of self. This is not Taylour Young being jealous of himself. So, foul play. The only foul play that came out in the house of relationships, the significant other. He had a girlfriend. And in fact, his girlfriend moved in with him a couple of days before he disappeared. And she moved out a couple of days after his disappearance because her friends told her to. I guess they figured, look, you don't know what you done got yourself into. We don't know what's going on. So if I was you, I'd just leave. If that's true, and if she didn't have anything to do with it. But foul play came out. Foul play came out in the 7th house. The 7th house is the house of the significant other. We're going to find out what's going on in these charts. Taylour Young, I have his charts in front of me, was born December 30th, 1995. On that day, the sun was in Capricorn and the moon was in Aries. And y'all know how I formulate time. Time is the sun divided by moon cycles. When you put an Aries moon in Capricorn's house, Cancer comes first. Cancer is home, family, and the mother. This is a domestic chart. Taylour Young has a domestic home and family birth chart, which lets me know he was a family man. However, he was a very ambitious family man. So he may have been a mama's boy, but he was an ambitious mama's boy who pursued his career and pursued success. Not the type of mama's boy that sat up at home without a job and without a direction in life because he knew mama was going to always take care of him. Not that type of mama's boy. This was Taylour Young was the exact opposite type of mama's boy. He loved his mother, but he also loved his career and where he was going in life. He was very successful. He was an accountant. He dealt with money, numbers and money, and I'm quite sure money had a lot to do with his disappearance and his death. But all of that is going to come out. Whatever doesn't come out in the wash will come out in the rinse. And the reason why I know he was very ambitious is because he was a Capricorn. And Capricorn is the energy of climbing the ladder of success. That's the GOAT energy. Now, he had a moon in Aries, and Aries is our competitive energy, our head first direction. It rules direction. So he was very focused, and his focus was in Capricorn's house of success. Now, also why he was very ambitious was because his Capricorn, because he was a Capricorn. His Capricorn is in the 7th house. Now, the 7th house is the house of relationships and marriage. He was very marriage oriented, relationship material. He always had to make sure that he had somebody on his arm, whether it's in marriage or in relationships. A 7th house individual never wants to show up in life all by themselves. They want to be known for being with the significant other, because the 7th house is the house of the significant other. Now, could this foul play be Taylour Young? Or could this foul play be his partner? Although Taylour Young is in the house of his partner, which means he just might be the partner that was engaging in foul play. Just because I conduct readings on an individual doesn't mean I take sides. Just because I'm willing to use my craft and my spiritual ability to tap in and solve cases, cold cases, murders. I find missing men, women, and children. Does not mean that I take sides. A lot of people I've done readings on were not innocent. I just read the cards and I do my job. Now, the day he disappeared, December 9th, 2021, the sun was in Sagittarius and the moon was in Aquarius. And when you put an Aquarius moon in Sagittarius' house, which is the 9th house, Gemini comes first. Remember when I told you this first house jealousy is going to let us know whoever comes out, whatever comes out in the first house of the disappearance chart will let us know who this person is and where they're most likely located at. Gemini represents the neighbor. This is the neighbor's chart, the 3rd house. There is also a jealousy card that came out in the 3rd house. This is the same person. Because Gemini rules the 3rd house and it came out in the 1st house. The 3rd house also came out as jealousy as well. Now, guess what other jealousy card came out? The 9th house. Why is the 9th house so important? Because in order for this chart to be pulled, we had to put the moon that day, which was in Aquarius, in Sagittarius' house, which is the 9th house. That's what formulated this chart in the first place. All of this is one person. And you know who I think this person is? Who he was in a relationship with. The question is, who was responsible for this foul play? Was it the woman he was in a relationship with? Or was it Taylour Young? Jealousy. This person was most likely jealous of Taylour Young's career because he was career oriented. Very career oriented. Gemini comes first. Where did Gemini come from? Gemini came from Taylour's 12th house. The hidden. This is the house of the hidden enemy. And most likely this is somebody in his local neighborhood. This could have been his girlfriend. But if not, this was somebody he was definitely fucking around with in his neighborhood. Now, when you look in the third house of the day he disappeared, because this whole entire chart is a third house chart, but these are like the rooms in the third house. If this was like the third house on the block, then this third slot will be the third bedroom in that house. A 12-bedroom house in the third house on the block. Or the old school religion Christians say it like, in my father's house are many mansions. That was an astrological terminology. Because the whole entire Bible is an astrological textbook. But that's a whole nother video that you will not see on this channel. But I just may put it on another channel. Now, back to what we're doing on this channel. This would be the mansion. In my father's house are many mansions. Okay? Astrology calls it houses. So, but it's all the same thing. Now, in the third house, in the third room, we see Leo, which is romance. 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 Leo is also drama. Leo is also celebration. Now, who was most likely to bring about this romance and this drama and this celebration? Let's look in Leo's house, which is the 5th house. You see? Leo's house. Look what you see. Libra, the partner. Libra is always the partner, the significant other. Libra rules the 7th house, where this foul play came out at. Now, this could be because the 3rd house represents travel. And he was last seen traveling. He was at the ATM on his lunch break. Was he going out of town to a party? Leo also represents parties. Was he going out of town for a romantic rendezvous with somebody other than his significant other who was over here in the 7th house? Or was he going to see this individual? Sagittarius rules the 9th house. This is where the sun was that day. And you know what's so ironic? Taylour Young's son was also in his 7th house. These two people are in a relationship. This is Taylour and this is his spouse. This, I believe, just may be Taylour committing foul play. And it probably turned on him. Now let's follow Jupiter. Because it may not be Taylour. This may be his spouse who set him up. But we do know, let's focus on this 7th house. Because the sun was right here when Taylour was born in the 7th house. And the sun was also in the 7th house of the chart of the day he disappeared. So the relationship partner is definitely involved. Both dots lead to the house of marriage and romance. Jupiter rules Sagittarius and the sun rules Leo. Where was the sun at, first of all, that day? December 9th, the day he disappeared. The sun was in Sagittarius. So we know that he was with his partner because the sun was right here that day. Now, Jupiter rules Sagittarius. Where was Jupiter at that day? Jupiter was in Aquarius, which is right here in Sagittarius's house. Jupiter's right here in Aquarius' house. So he was with more than one person because Aquarius represents the group. And it's also a jealous person he was with. Guess what also was here that day? The moon. The moon was also right here. Taylour Young was surrounded by jealousy. Let me tell you something. If this is not all one person, this is 3 people that all represent Aquarius energy. Now, where was Aquarius energy at in Taylour Young's chart? Bam, right there in the house of death. You can't make this up. Right there in the house of death. It was more than one person responsible for Taylour Young's death who shot him in his head and put him in his trunk. Aquarius, right there in the 8th house. Now, Uranus is the planet that rules Aquarius, the group activity. Where was Uranus at that day? Because that will elaborate on the reason for this killing. Uranus was in Taurus. Taurus is the energy of money. Where's Taurus at? Taurus is right here in the 11th house. The 11th house is Aquarius's house. You can't make this up. Look, Aquarius's house is where Taurus is at. That's where Uranus was that day. They attacked him for his money. And in fact, I believe his significant other had something to do with it as well. Because when she left his house, days after he disappeared, she immediately went to go get records from the bank. His financial records. Why did she want to know his financial records? She wanted access to his accounts, and his mother found that to be so weird that his girlfriend was trying to get access to his records. I'm going to pull 3 cards from my messages because I want Taylour Young to talk about this. He's already talking about it. But talk about this from this deck in 3 cards. Talk about this, Taylour Young. Talk about this in 3 cards. Tell us about what happened to you in 3 cards. Now, look. Remember I told you Gemini came from Taylour Young's house of the hidden. This is Pisces' house. You see Pisces' house. Where's Pisces at? Look, right there in the 9th house. Where the other enemy? The same enemy that's in the 9th house, that's a part of the group. I believe when Taylour pulled up to that ATM, he was not alone. He was not alone when he pulled up to that ATM. He probably was taking somebody home who lived in Dallas and met with foul play. And these people also knew his girlfriend. Or they probably was jealous of the fact that he was with her. So they wanted to take him out to ruin their relationship and to break her heart or to break his family's heart. Just some treacherous people out here. What happened to you, Taylour Young, in 3 cards? Tell us what happened to you in 3 cards. What happened to Taylour Young in 3 cards? What happened to Taylour Young in 3 cards? The first card. Maintenance. Somebody needed help. This is a sixth house card. Let's keep pulling the next card. LGBTQ. Why did that card come out? There's a reason why that card came out. And the last card. Actions. Was he helping somebody? Could this have been somebody he was fooling around with? LGBT? I don't know if he was gay or not. I don't care. I just know this card came out. There's a reason why this card came out. Now, I do know that Aquarius, which is the energy that governs his death, the eighth house is also the house of sex as well. When Aquarius is in someone's house of sex, that represents LGBTQ energy as well. Because Aquarius energy in the house of sex represents somebody who is very impersonal and open-minded when it comes to the affairs of whatever house Aquarius is in. And in Taylour Young's chart, his Aquarius energy is in the eighth house. So he was a very impersonal, non-judgmental, humanitarian, detached, open-minded energy of sex, which can lead to sex is outside the box. Because Aquarius is the energy in us that's outside the box. And Taylour Young's energy of being outside the box is in his house of sexuality. But it's also the house of death and shared resources as well. Somebody needed help. Maintenance. Somebody needed help. They either needed his help or he needed their help. Actions. Somebody's actions. Somebody's actions. Whether it was his action or the other person's action. Somebody's action. Somebody's action kind of started something. I'm going to pull one more card from this message deck. Elaborate on this. Elaborate on what was pulled, Taylour Young. Elaborate on this. Action, LGBTQ, and maintenance. What is the meaning of these three cards that got pulled? Wisdom. Wisdom is when you act on knowledge. Okay? Wisdom is when you act on knowledge. And the reason why I don't underestimate this card that come out, I don't underestimate any card that come out, but the reason why I don't underestimate this card is because this card came out, maintenance. This is a sixth house card, like I told you. In Taylour's sixth house, look what you see, Sagittarius. And remember, we followed Sagittarius when we saw it in the house of the significant other. I feel like he was going to help somebody. He was going to help this individual. This is the maintenance card. He was going to help her or him, right? Now, something went wrong though. Actions and wisdom. Something went wrong. Knowledge is power. And when you act on what you know, that's called wisdom. Because knowledge is like, okay, when you get to a hole in the street, jump over the hole, right? That's knowledge. I know that that's a hole. And if I don't jump over that hole, I'm going to fall. Wisdom is actually knowing when to jump. It's when to act. And I feel like something transpired. I feel like something transpired when it came to the way he acted or the way somebody else acted. Actions and wisdom has a lot to do with it. This is my who deck, by the way. Who? I feel like we already know who. The significant other, but something is telling me to pull from this who deck. Who? Who? I don't know why I'm pulling from this deck. Who? Who? I was just told to also pull 3 evidence cards too. Who? Who? This is who. Ooh, that fell out. What is this? A stranger in the 3rd house. I feel like this stranger was the LGBT. A stranger. See, this is the house where it all happened. So this has to have. This was a stranger. I believe this was a stranger right here. This stranger acted some type of way. Aquarius is also the energy of the stranger. I feel like this stranger was also a foreigner. I feel like he was helping somebody. I was told to pull 3 cards. ABC 1, 2, 3. That's because in this deck is full of evidence. All the letters, all the numbers that could equal addresses, names. That's why I labeled it ABC 1, 2, 3. Directions, ages, license plate numbers. This also can let me know cars, what color cars are involved, what people may have been wearing that was involved. Give us evidence. Why did you tell me to pull 3 cards? I believe these 3 cards are going to let us know about them 3 jealous cards that came out. Who are these people that was with you, Taylour? Give us evidence in 3 cards. You told me to pull 3 cards. I heard it loud and clear in my spirit. 3 cards from the evidence deck. So here we are. 3 cards. Evidence in the Taylour Young case. Evidence. Evidence in 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. Now we have the letter S. We have the letter S. We have South. And we have the letter F. Right? South. I feel like it was a co-worker. I feel like there's a gay co-worker involved. I just feel like that. I know there's a co-worker involved. But I feel like there is a gay co-worker involved. And the foul play was the help that this gay co-worker needed. This right here, I'm pulling from the planets because this is going to open up another chart. And it just may open up the same chart that I have right here, but I need to have another chart because I need to see what's going to come first. Because that's going to make sense of all these cards that was pulled. I'm in the energy. So, I'm going to be doing random things, pulling from random decks because I'm in the energy of Taylour Young. Mercury in the third house. You can't make this up. You cannot make this up. This was about the people that was in his car. See, you can't make this up. Everything leading to the third house. That's where it all happened, right? Mercury that day was in Sagittarius, the foreigner. It was in Sagittarius. That was the person he was in a relationship with, right? Now, when you put Sagittarius in the third house, look what comes first. Libra, the significant other, the seventh house. Foul play. I believe his girlfriend has something to do with it. She may be LGBTQ. There may be other girls involved. The LGBTQ energy may be coming from her. It could be coming from him, and it could also be coming from a co-worker. Libra. Yeah. This is the partner. Venus rules Libra. Where is Venus at that day? Venus was in Capricorn. And where's Capricorn at? Right here in the fourth house. Now, when Capricorn is in the fourth house, this is the father figure. Now, I don't know anything about Taylour Young's father, or I don't know if a stepfather is in the picture, but I do know that Taylour comes from a fourth house chart. And in Taylour's fourth house, this is his birth chart. Look in the fourth house, you see Libra. Why was the card that he pulled coming from Libra comes first? I'm sorry, that was Gemini's chart. Libra comes first. This was the chart that was pulled from the cards, not the time of birth or the time he disappeared. This came directly from the cards, speaking Mercury from the third house. Mercury is a planet of travel and communication. That phone that they found in the bushes too. This is that Mercury. In that phone will be evidence. Now, Jupiter rules Sagittarius. Jupiter was in Aquarius. And Aquarius is right here in the fifth house of romance. That's Leo's house. I believe there was a sexual romance. Why? Because look in the fifth house. You'll see Aquarius, right? Sexual romance with one of them people that was also jealous. Now, in Taylor's fifth house, you see Scorpio, the energy of sex. But Aquarius is in the house of sex in Taylor's chart. And look in the fifth house of the day he actually disappeared. You see Libra. That's what came first in the cards. He was in a relationship with somebody in that local environment, and he met with foul play because the person he was in a relationship with, I believe, was gay. Whether it was a woman who was gay or a man who was gay. LGBTQ did not come out for no reason. It doesn't matter whether they was gay or not, but apparently it mattered in this situation because this card came out. And that's part of the reason for the disappearance and the death. What doesn't come out in the wash will always come out in the rinse. I'm going to keep this reading right here. Taylour Young Astro Oracle Investigation. And we're going to see what comes about. I believe this something's going to crack this case. And it's going to come out. It's going to come out. It always does. It's going to come out. That's my reading on Taylour Young. That's my reading on Taylour Young. And I'm sticking to it.